Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the last part in this series. We are going to be doing a alternative Barbie look, Gothic Barbie, whatever you want to call it. I will try and link the other two videos down below. I did what I would consider a classic Barbie look and then a monochromatic all pink Barbie look. So I will link those down below. If you haven't seen those, make sure you're subscribed if you are new. Yes, today we're going to be doing my version of a Gothic Barbie look. So if that sounds interesting, stick around and let's jump into it. Okay, so if you saw all three parts, leave me a heart down below. I'm very excited. I did redo my entire base. If you watch the first two parts, I didn't have to completely redo my base for the second look. I wanted a more cool toned undertone for the bronzer and contour, so took everything off and started over. For the blush, I'm going to use the same one that I used in my second look. This is the Blush Balm from Flower Beauty in Bubbly. Whilst we are doing a dark, more black with a little bit of pink eye, we're going to do slightly black pink lip. I thought Barbie would still have pink blush, so I just squeezed a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I have a brush, if I can see, and I did kind of do a little bit of like blush draping in the last video where I took it up a little bit. I think I'm going to do a little bit of that because, like I said, I think Barbie would still have pretty pink cheek. When you're doing more alternative makeup, generally blush you're going to skip the blush because the idea is to look a little bit more corpse-like, but for the sake of this, I think, like I said, Barbie would still have a pink cheek. I used the Flower Beauty contour wand with a little bit of the amber shade from Fenty. I'll link everything else down below, but I did a warmer bronzer in the first two looks, so I figured for an alternative look, we should go a little bit more cool toned with the contour. And then I do still have, use the same brush, my Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette, which is what I used in my two other looks. If you missed it, there is a powder blush in here. I'm going to go over the top just to set this down just a little bit because I don't want it as dewy as it was in the other two looks. We'll keep it a little more matte. And then for highlighter, again, I'm just going to use the highlighters in this palette. I can find my highlighter brush. It's the Glow Extreme on the bottom. I'm not going to do a pinky highlighter. There is a hair somewhere. I have dogs, and then we used to have a cat that hung out down here, so there's some sort of hair on me that ended up on my, it's probably dog hair, I'm gonna assume, probably dog hair. So I'm just throwing a little bit of this highlighter on, and then we'll jump into the eye look. Okay, so this is what I came up with, and I wasn't paying attention. Normally I do this eye and film this one, but we're just gonna roll with it. So we went a little bit darker in the crease, a little bit of black. There's still some pink lash. So let me show you what I did. I am using the Huda Beauty Smoke Obsession and then the palette from the very first look, the Sweetheart palette from Lorella. So we're gonna use those two. I'm pretty sure I primed my lid. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did. I use the Gerard let's see, Clean Canvas Eye Base. It's basically concealer. So if you don't have that, use concealer. It's going to give you a nice like wet base. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to use the light gray, the dark gray, and the black. And I'm just going to bounce around. I do have my color switch out. So I went in with the lighter gray first, but you could go in with the darker gray. I don't know that me going in with the lighter gray accomplished much because then I went back in with the other one and then used the lighter gray to blend out the darker gray. So you're just trying to create a gray, nice, you know, smoked out crease is the goal. And because you have slightly wet base, you're gonna get good pigmentation, but the blending, and then my brush is a little bit not clean. So I did clean it off, but I feel like there's a little bit of a drag. And that's just because I need to clean all my brushes. So, and then I'm looking to make sure they're even, because that tends to happen when I'm filming, that one eye gets darker than the other eye. With my lights, they'll look darker on camera. I'm going in with the black now. Definitely faster the second time, since I kind of knew what the end result was gonna look like. Taking the black up, but I'm not going super far. I'm gonna add a little bit more right here, just because I feel like that side's gonna be darker. I took the black up higher this time. I'm gonna blend out the black a little bit into the crease, kind of leave the black on the lid. And then you can see there's a little bit of a difference. So then I went back in with the medium gray and then went in with a little more of the light gray. All I have under my brow bone is the diamond highlighter from the Natasha Denona palette that we use to kind of set our face and use the highlighter on our face. So I'm just bringing that gray kind of up into where the highlighter is, but feel free to use anything you want under the brow bone. Okay, and I went in with a flat brush and some NYX glitter glue. And we're going to use a couple of glitters out of the Lorella palette. In the first look, there's still a hair on my face. I used one of the shimmers from the Glam Light Strawberry Shortcake palette. I was trying to keep it to less palettes, just because I knew I was gonna have to use a different palette for the grays. So I tried to just pull shimmers out of this one, and I think they're really pretty. I'm gonna use, there's still a hair there, Soulmate, which is a pink with a gold shift, the True Love, which is the metallic like True Barbie pink, and then I used a little bit of Date Night, which is a darker pink than the Barbie one. So we're gonna start off with Soulmate. And again, this is a really nice palette. I don't know what this palette retails for. I will look it up. I know it's still available because I did look that up recently, but I will link it down below. Going into that Barbie pink just because I want that pink to be a little more prominent right here. And I'm gonna go in and add a little bit more in the middle for cohesive sake, because I still want those pops of pink, even though we're going a little darker, a little smokier. And then Cupid, I just dragged down a little bit farther so that there wasn't such a harsh line between the black and the pink. And then the lower lash line was pretty easy. Where is my liner brush? I went in with True Love, which is the Barbie pink, and took that about 2/3. And then went in with Cupid, which is that darker shimmer that we used on the outer corner. Kind of marry those together, cleaning off in between. I'm gonna blend those out a little bit. Then went into February, which is just a matte, like mid-toned, bright pink shade. I'm just gonna go underneath to blend those out. And then I'll take just a clean, fluffy-ish brush to kind of help blend. And then I went back into the black from the Huda Beauty palette. You'll have to let me know if this one is still available. They like discontinued it and then they like brought it back because people liked it. It's a really good palette. This is probably the palette that I've taken traveling the most. I don't travel with it anymore just because I've seen some people's like explode. And then I'm just blending that black into the pink. And you couldn't get it for a while, so I did stop traveling with it, but I did travel with it for a long time, never had any issues, but I've seen some of the shimmer shades in it explode on people. Okay, so I am just going to put liner and my lash on like I did on the other side, and we'll come back and we'll do it. I brought you in a little bit closer. I've got my lashes on. These are, again, the Eyelure 3/4. I used them in all 3 looks. If you missed those videos, they do sell Eyelure at Target. I don't know if they carry this style. This is the 3/4 volume. I get them on Amazon. I'll link them down below. If you missed out, I have been drinking a margarita. My husband got some canned ones. And then I also have a sparkling water, but you're seeing these over a couple of days. I am filming these back to back, so a drink was appreciated. So I tried to keep it a little black and pink. If you were gonna go true like goth alternative, I think you'd go a little bit even darker. In the outer corner, you'd lose the blush. But since this is supposed to be Barbie-esque, I gave myself a little bit of leeway. Anyway, we are going to be using 2 liquid lipsticks. I'm gonna attempt to do kind of a black and pink ombre. I'm gonna be using Jeffree Star's Weirdo and Prom Night. I used Prom Night in my last look. I'm trying to think. I think I'm gonna go into the pink first. And I'm gonna put the pink kind of in the center and then do the black and then blot it together and hope it turns out. Okay, very Queen of Hearts-esque. Keep that in mind as far as how far in you want in the center. Just a little bit, and you can do more or less. I like his formula. Again, it dries down completely. It's transfer proof. I got these like 50% off when he had a sale on his pinks and reds and his like weird colors, so I was able to get, I've heard good things about this black. I got it on sale. You're gonna go in like that. And then start working them together. Okay, and then we get something like this, and I had to add a little bit more pink just because it dried really quick on me, but you can, if you don't like Jeffree Star, you don't want to use his, any black or pink will do. This is just a hot pink and a black. I have other blacks, but I do genuinely like his formula, so I went in and kind of fiddled with adding some more pink out and black. It dries down faster than it used to, but I'm pretty happy with this combination. So let me zoom you out and we'll look at the finished product. Okay, so zoomed out, I added a little bit more blush just because this is a very bold lip. I was thinking about just doing straight black, but it's Barbie-esque themed, so I thought doing a little bit of a pink and black ombre lip might be kind of fun. Again, you can fiddle with the amounts. The pink started to dry down really quick, so I had to go in and fiddle with it before I came back, but I just used the 2 shades and added more and blot it together, and that's the easiest way I found to kind of do an ombre, and then I would clean the pink off just so I wouldn't contaminate the color with the black. But you will have to let me know. I definitely could have went brighter on the lid with such a bold lip, but I am happy that there's just a little bit of pink. It's one of those with look, slightly gothic look, like how pink do you want to go? That's a personal preference thing, but I definitely knew that the lip was going to be the focal point, so I didn't want it to, again, be too clowny, because that can tend to happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of all of the looks. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Let me know what you guys thought of this in general. I can definitely do more of these, but yes, I am planning, talked about this in my very first video, of doing a complete look with my oldest eyeshadow palette, which is the Electric from Urban Decay, and I did use a little bit of it in my first two looks. So again, definitely go check those out if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you are subscribed if you are not already, and hopefully I will see you in another video very soon. Bye everybody.